Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoyed these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you can see it and purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. Back in 2012, Rolex pretty much stunned the world, launching a 42mm annual calendar GMT that no one saw coming. And today we are discussing that original Rolex Oyster Perpetual Sky Dweller, reference 326938 in yellow gold. Arguably the largest and boldest yellow gold watch you can purchase without crossing the line from luxury to ostentation. Now the timepiece features a lot of personality on the wrist. The reason I think this is probably the largest yellow gold Rolex you can source without becoming expressly flamboyant? Well, the reason is the 44mm Yachtmaster 2 in yellow gold, which features a panoply of white, red, and blue colors that have led some to dub that model the Clown Master. Don't get me wrong, I love the Clown Master, but this watch perhaps has a higher order of grace. 42mm in diameter on my 16cm circumference wrist, it wears like a large Datejust. It's not as big as you think. 13.9mm thick, the watch is quite reasonable from lug to lug at 51.4mm, and that's including the solid end links of the bracelet, so realistically the watch is only about as broad across the wrist as a GMT or a Submariner on a solid end link bracelet. The 21mm spacing between the lugs ensures that the watch has a nice match between the width of the bracelet and the width of the lugs. It's a handsome modern planted stance on the wrist. Now the timepiece does have a very substantial bracelet. It's a Rolex Oyster, 3-link design, staggered link size, staggered link alignment, differential polish, both satin and you can see high polish at center, high polished faces, removable links fixed by screws. You have a lift lock Rolex Oyster clasp. So you have the lift lock system. You actually unlock it. There's a beak and there's a hook internally. And so when this is closed, it is locked. It's not a friction fit system. You lift and unlock. Internally, there's a great deal going on. As you can see, there are 3 divots drilled inside the clasp that allow you to change the anchoring point of the bracelet for fine tuning the size. There's also the Rolex 5mm EasyLink system that allows you to add or remove 5mm of length, the equivalent of adding or removing one sizable link. So it's a very versatile system. Remove links, change the stationing of the bracelet, use EasyLink, you can size this one well. Twin lock crown, you know it's a twin lock because it's solid gold and it features the 2 dots, hence twin lock. You can always decode a Rolex crown type by its dot pattern. 100 meters water resistant, that also in part due to the Oyster style caseback. The case itself is, well, Datejust Plus. It's not the squared off and sheer-sided super case that you get with a GMT, a Sea Dweller, or a Submariner, or an Explorer 2. This is actually very much like a big Datejust, a big Date 8, or even a big Daytona. The bezel itself is wonderfully fluted and faceted, but don't mistake it for a component of the case. It's an external component of the movement. An annual calendar and a GMT, the watch gives you 2 time zones, one in 24-hour format at center, and it gives you an annual calendar, so you get the month represented by the proximity of this black rectangle to any of the given hours, 12 months, 12 hours, that's how you read the month. You have a date, and being an annual calendar, it need be adjusted only once a year during the jump from February to March. The dial is a sensational gold sunburst with solid gold Rolex crown, hands at center, and of course Arabic numerals in high polish. Now the watch is controlled by means of the crown and the bezel. The bezel is a ring lock crown, a system we first saw on the Yachtmaster. Justified all the way clockwise, you can pull the crown out, nothing happens. You wind in the first position, but pull it out and nothing's going on. I can't change any indication. Now, I turn 1 click counterclockwise, and all of a sudden I can adjust the calendar. Note how I can adjust the calendar in both directions, and as I drive the date in both directions, you will see that the month jumps from 4, or April, to May 1st. So that's May Day right there, and I can drive the calendar in both directions. It's a bidirectional quickset for the day, well I should say for the date and for the month. Now jumping back a little bit, we're going to justify counterclockwise one more time. Now I can move the local hour hand, and you see how the watch is not hacked or stopped? It continues to operate in this mode. As I set your local hour, it doesn't change the reference 24-hour time zone. Look how I can drive the date forward, but in this mode I can't drive the date backwards. Now the final click would hack the watch, stop the seconds, and allow me to move everything in sync. And that is the final setting mode when you want to set everything, calendar and both time zones, in sync and stop the seconds of the watch. The movement is Rolex's most complex ever. Reference 9001. automatic winding bidirectional. It features a 3-day power reserve, or 70 hours to be precise, 28.8 beat rate. It features 40 joules. It features almost 400 parts, the annual calendar complication, an overcoil hairspring that helped the watch earn its chronometer certification in multiple positions of testing, a full balance bridge with a free-sprung index for shock resistance. It features an overcoil to its hairspring that is made by hand, so it helps the watch to keep excellent time in any orientation on your wrist or on your dresser at night. Moreover, the overcoil, which is made by hand, is on a hairspring of niobium zirconium that is blue oxidized to be robustly anti-magnetic. So caliber 9001, the dual-time annual calendar, nearly 3-day power reserve chronometer, tough and sophisticated, Rolex's most advanced movement in what might be considered Rolex's most elegant large yellow gold timepiece. This one features the works. Make no compromise. See it and own it on the watch box. Maximalist by day, minimalist by night. Rolex Sky Dweller.